We'll call our meeting back to order. Pick up where we left off there before lunch. Next will be the Register of Deeds, Ms. Miranda Root.
Hello. Okay, so just to give you an update where we are as of today, I ran the figures because I know I've given you all an idea of how much income we've done over the last couple of years. And I mainly just wanted to show from July 1st until today because it's quite a bit of a difference from last year. And last year we did a record of $407,000 total, and the excise tax was $250-some thousand. So already this year, from July 1st until Friday, last Friday, we've already done $217,727, and of that, $158,891 has been collected in excise tax. And to give you an idea, we've ran the numbers, and that is roughly about 1,300 D transfers this year from January 1st until today. And last year, from July 1st until the 18th of December, we had only done $194,814 total, and of that, only $135,580 was excise tax. So we're up quite a bit from last year at this time, which, if it continues on, the office should exceed what it's done last year, which is what we're hoping for. In this year as well, the office has started implementing, we've been working on a project now it's a document link system where titles for attorneys will be a whole lot easier. This has been something that's been in the works for almost about a year and a half now. It's a very complex, difficult thing to do when you're making deeds of trust links to cancellations and deeds linked to plats and stuff like that. But hopefully that's going to go live in the next month. So hopefully by the end of January, that'll be up and going for our attorneys and for the public to do better title searches. Also, coming January 1st, we've been doing a lot of training with the state vital records. We are doing NC-DAVE, which is a death registry, and it'll also be the birth registry, which means we can search out births and deaths throughout the whole state. So they'll be able to come into our office. You'll be able to pull death certificates back to a certain point. Currently it won't be for years. It'll only be for the last year in our office, which will also help with titles and anyone who has a resident who has passed away in another county. And the other thing, as Mary had stated, we are working on linking our plats, all the recorded plats. Our plat recording is way up. Attorneys and the public is recording their plats a lot more than what they have been. Last year we only did roughly about 110. We're up to 180 this year so far. So that's a huge increase, which is very beneficial to everyone. We're going to hopefully link that with GIS, just like our deeds are. So if you pull up on GIS, you'll be able to link your property to your plat. And then the other last thing that we're doing is we've started working on a indexing of our old records. Currently, you can only search your index back to 1988 on the website. We have started, it's called a time machine project, where you'll be able to search the records prior to 1988 through the indexing system instead of doing it through the old records, which will be very beneficial for title searchers, the attorneys, and so forth. So hopefully that'll come, but that's a very detailed project that will take a while. So,
Questions, comments?
Stay busy.
we are.
Appreciate it. Y'all been very busy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Social Service, Ms. Lisa Osborne.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for all your support for this year to help our staff and our agency get through it. But as you've heard from the departments, we are all busy. We do a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about. We take care of the most vulnerable population in our county. We make sure that they're safe and well taken care of and their needs are met. I have a few statistics to give you, but we, in our food nutrition program with the COVID, the federal government has issued a significant amount of supplemental benefits. So our whole last fiscal year with the benefits, with the supplemental benefits, they provided $5.3 million to the citizens in this county. So far this year, we're at $3.1 million. The waivers are due to end the end of this month. However, I don't know if they'll be continued or if they will end. So that's a pretty significant amount of funds for our citizens to spend on food and nutrition services. We also provide to about food and nutrition services, we provide 16% of the county receives those services. For Medicaid, we provide, that's our medical insurance program, that's for adults, that's for family and children's. That includes our long-term care Medicaid recipients and our special assistants. And that's about 24% of the population in this county. So it's a pretty significant amount that receive those services. We provide child support services. We, a lot of people don't know this, but we do fish and license as part of the food nutrition program. When there's unclaimed bodies in the county, we take care of those. We do adult protective services, child protective services. We do in-home aid services for some of our seniors over 60. We are going to start monitoring our new facility when they open up. That's what our new adult home specialist position will be doing. We provide guardianship to those who don't have family, they're incompetent and unable to meet their own needs. We provide guardianship services, payee services, help people to pay their bills that are unable to maintain their own finances and take care of those. We currently have 39 children in foster care. We have 3 placed in the county, so of those, we are traveling all over the state of North Carolina on a monthly basis to see those kids. Through COVID, we were able to do that virtually. Now that COVID is diminishing, we are back to traveling full force and going to see those kids monthly. We did pass our guidelines and was able to see those kids at 100% of those visits. So we done very well with that. We have audits on every program area. The feds audit us, the state audits us, the county audits us. We also have internal audits. I would like to give a shout out to our Medicaid unit. They have passed their Medicaid report card for 12 months in a row with 100%, so that's a great big deal. We also do adoption services. We currently have 46 kids that we provide adoption assistance to on a monthly basis. We provide low-income energy assistance. That program's going on for the month of December, and if there are funds left available, it will filter into January. We do crisis, which helps with heating and oil. And this year we started a new program called LIWAP to help with water program. So that's anyone who has a cutoff notice for their water. So we do a lot of things. I didn't go into all the statistics to keep it short and sweet, but I could stand and talk probably for days on what all. But do you have any questions about any of the services that we do?
Questions, comments?
For what you do.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all do a good job, and we thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Rules and Procedures, Mr. Drew Todd. Wait a minute, I'm in the wrong slot here, excuse me. Soil and Water Conservation District, Mr. Eric Hamilton. Excuse me there.
Afternoon.
Evening.
Allegheny Soil and Water Conservation District. We've been pretty busy this year. We do state funds, cost share funds through several different programs called cost share, AgRap, CCAP. Our years run kind of like state budget, 2021, so give you a little update on that. 2021, we cost shared roughly $87,700. in about 10 contracts. Of those 10 contracts, we've paid out 8 of them, which is about almost $67,000. For this year, we've already contracted out almost $69,000 in 9 contracts. We are looking at a spring allocation. That'll be around March. So hopefully we can get a little more money there. This past year, through EQIP and through the federal side, we have done 2,500 linear feet of stream restoration out here on 93. We have actually completed it, closed it out. That's through the federal program. We have completed 2,800 linear feet out here on Highway 18 going towards Laurel Springs of stream restoration. Hopefully close that out and get it completely paid out here in the next couple months. Veterans Park, as I've given you an update before and give you another update on it. We're at 75% funding or more on it. We have another contract or application in for CCAP. We will know the results of it hopefully mid-January, and I did find out the last couple of weeks we got to up that application from $20,000 to $50,000. So we're hoping with that maybe fully funded with some state funds too. Through the year we've been working with Nrcs on highly erodible land. I'm getting to learn a lot more about that, doing that side of it. Of course, I've only been here a little over a year, so I'm still learning a lot. We're down 1 staff member in the office, which usually does the education side of it. I've been doing a little bit with it. We teamed up a lot this year with, as Amy Lucas stated earlier, with Extension, doing 4-H programs with them. We also added 3rd and 4th grade poster contest to our contest list. We do poster, essay, and speech. We've added the 3rd and 4th grade to get them started a little earlier. We do rent out the county's no-till drill. It's been very busy. It's actually, I think we've done more this year than we have in the past years, according to the numbers that have come in. Keep encouraging the citizens, take advantage of it. It's a great thing to use. Allegany's going to be hosting our Area 2 meeting for our area of the state this coming year in 2022. So we're looking at facilities. Going to have 2 meetings, one in March, one in October. Have roughly about 100 to 125 people here for that. Let's see. We actually got to do a in-person training in August. It's called the Conservation Employee Training. It's the first one we've had since 2019. First one I got to attend. It was very informative. About everything else has been virtual still. Let's keep up with the state budget. We did have the state's approved $38 million in stream debris removal in their budget this coming year. That's going to be coming up in 2022. Give you guys a little bit of an idea how much money that is for the state. Oil and Water's annual budget's about $6 million. So that's $38 million. It's going to be divided up between the counties. So there's going to be a lot of money. Hopefully get some coming to the county here. Get some of the stuff out of the streams, trees, stuff like that. That's about all I've got. If you got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Questions, comments?
Busy man.
Appreciate you, Eric, the job you're doing. We thank you for it.
Thank you.
Phillips Tax Office, Miss Rita Miller.
Afternoon. So you've heard a lot of statistics and numbers, and for all the building inspections you've heard, all the deed transfers, all of that flows through the tax office as well in order to create a tax bill. So we've been very busy this year. So just in a recap, 2021 was a year of first times, quarantines, and challenges. It's a year when the tax and tag team, the staff met these challenges head on. They've done a remarkable job. They continued to do that with a good attitude and worked as a team to get through that. 2021 saw our first revaluation where the county staff completed part of it, and part of it was contracted out. We have a little over 15,000 parcels that were to be assessed, and so we did that successfully, had a software conversion, and the most active real estate market all during this process. So that was quite a challenge, but I feel like it was successful. And during a time when collections we expected to decline, the collections department maintained with a 2021 fiscal year and collection rate of 100.34% of the original tax levy. So as you know, from finance, we have multiple lines that this goes into, but I typically look at just the original tax levy, which doesn't include the fire districts and solid waste fees and those items. But the total tax levy on the books was $9,540,204. We've done $270,655 in discoveries and deferred tax bills or farm use rollbacks. That's usually what makes up that number. And something I don't ever talk about is the solid waste or the landfill sticker, as citizens usually call it. You get the $98 on your tax bill if you have a dwelling, but we've actually sold $2,142 worth of additional stickers since August the 1st. So I thought that was a pretty good number, and most of those are $5 stickers. So there were 14,900 motor vehicles registered in Allegheny County in 2021, and the net collection amount on that was $867,648. The license plate agency, that's something I don't report on very often other than just their numbers each month. I believe when we first started looking at that, if memory serves, we were hoping that the compensation would be about $3,500 a month. In 2020, it was $3,700, and so far this year, it's averaging $4,600 a month. So we're ahead on that. 2021, we started attending our classes and continuing ed via Zoom so that we could keep up with our certification hours, and everyone was able to keep up with our certification hours, which that was good because now we have, or I have 2 meetings monthly via Zoom. It's an assessor's meeting and a collector's meeting, and here we discuss different ideas, policy changes that either have occurred or are being discussed and we're thinking may occur, whether we need to take action or let our boards know to get in touch with them people in Raleigh. But that's been a very good thing that's came out of all the Zoom. We had some staff changes. The license plate agency supervisor, which was Cole Edwards, was promoted to the recreation department. We were able to promote someone in the tax office already working into that position. And then the tax and finance support specialist, we hired our first one of those who has already been promoted to the assistant finance officer. So we're currently awaiting the arrival of our newest team member on January the 6th. So looking really forward to them getting here and getting started. And not to forget COVID. We had quarantines and isolations from just about all our team members in August and September, which is our busiest time. But I just can't thank enough my staff that stepped up and staff from the other departments that came in to help us out. I mean, it was just amazing at the teamwork that came through that. So I really appreciated that, and Mr. Carter allowing those people to help us out too. So I guess all in all, 2021 saw a lot of change, but we also saw a lot of growth come out of that, and hopefully better prepared for the future. So, be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions, comments?
Thank you.
Very good job. Thank you, Rita. Veteran Service Officer, Marge Gray, please.
As you know, I came in January. When I first came in, my first 6 months, I was working 28 hours a week, technically 20 with the 8 hours of training that I was getting in. So fortunately, I was able to get hired on full-time position in July, and that's really helped out a lot. In the time that I've been here, since January 26th, I have completed the training for the National Association of County VSOs, also the North Carolina State Department of Military Veteran Affairs training, and then also what's called TRIPS is essentially both of those programs all over again. So I took the same training 3 different ways. So I might have a little bit idea what I'm doing now. Unlike when I came in January during the audit and was counting the dots on the ceiling tiles because everybody was in audit and busy. So since I've completed this training, I've put in my accreditation packages. I have been accredited with the National, North Carolina State, the Disabled Veterans of America. I still have pending applications with the American Legion and the VFW to be accredited through them. Applications are there. I'm trying to find out what my holdup is on that, and my goal is to get all of this done by my year anniversary. So, but I'm waiting on the VA, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm still pushing for it. So, I've become members of the VFW Auxiliary, American Legion, Marine Corps League in the county, and the Allegheny County Veterans Advisory Committee. And in doing so, I've built a rapport with all of them to a point where I've kind of become the liaison between all of them. I go to each one of their meetings. I get phone calls asking me questions. I go to the different branches that's necessary and get those questions answered. So that seems to be working out really well for me. Amongst those different organizations, there's about 400 members all in total. So I have that contact with all those 400 members. So I've also became a member of Allegheny Lives, Allegheny Lives, and because of the suicide numbers with military veterans, since I started going to their meetings, I've become a board member with them. So just networking, outreach, and just trying to find different ways to reach out to veterans. In doing so, I've managed to get, since January, 275 active contacts with veterans. 30 of those are spouses. So the veterans have passed, and now I'm working with the spouse to receive their compensation. And right now, currently, I have 130 cases that I am working actively with. In Allegheny County, according to the GDX, which is the Geographic Distribution of VA Expenditures, for fiscal year 2020, Allegheny County has 871 veterans, which is 9.4% of the population. Now, this is just the veterans that live in Allegheny County. That's not counting our part-timers. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're away, but they still come to me for assistance when they're in Allegheny County. In that 871 veterans for Allegheny County, the total expenditures that the VA pays into Allegheny County is $8.5 million. That's about all I have. Have any questions?
Questions, comments?
I have a number of comments. One of the things that she touched on by becoming a member of Allegheny Lives, that may seem a little bit odd to the regular population of Allegheny County, but it means a little bit differently whenever you take into account pre-COVID 22 veterans committed suicide a day. After COVID, we are now 24 veterans committing suicide a day, one of which is, the last figure that I saw was one veteran active duty a week. So you're not talking about the younger population that is wearing the uniform right now. You're talking about the older population, the graybeards, that have taken their pack off. Also, Marge does not tell us about the contacts that she has outside of this county. She is recognized and receives calls just about weekly from veterans outside the county coming to her because they know that she will respond.
I got Utah, Maine, Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, New York right now.
And that's just an example of the service that she is providing to the veterans as a whole in this county and without. She is recognized as a gal that's there. She picks it up, takes control, takes responsibility for it, and goes for it. Thank you for the efforts that you have. And thing, Rita's not here. Yeah, that's okay. I see her. I was reminded whenever I brought up about the calls from outside the county. Rita's office is receiving calls from citizens of the state of North Carolina all over. And correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the reasons that they told you is because you answered the phone.
That's the license plate agency.
License plate agency receives phone calls throughout the state of North Carolina because they answered the phone. Great job, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bart, for the job you do. We appreciate you. Springs rules and procedures. You, Todd.
I made the changes suggested at the last meeting, and the updated rules of procedures is in your board packet for approval today.
I reviewed the requested changes and noted that they were all incorporated, Mr. Chair. Therefore, I will make a motion that we accept the rules of procedures.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor? 3-0. Lions Club lease, Ms. Heather Klein.
You should have all received a copy of the lease that I prepared. That was in a separate email, and it's also included in your packet. There were, I think, maybe 2 changes that were requested. They had to do with the use of the premises, which that is going 30 of the packet. So they're highlighted in yellow. One was that alcoholic beverages and illegal substances are prohibited from being on the premises. The second was in regards to how collections or reservations and use of the facility is set up, and that is currently through the Recreation Department. And so I just elaborated a little bit more on that and said that it is how it's handled now customarily, but then in addition, included but not limited to scheduling and reservations for events, collections of rental payments from third-party rentals, and payment of the rentals to the lessee. That just elaborates a little bit more for customary and what would be happening. It'll still be handled through the Recreation Department. So those are the only suggested changes from the original preparation of the lease. So any additional questions?
Questions, comments? I hear a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion?
I think I'm not sure if the Lions Club has actually seen a copy yet, so it might be something that you guys approve, but obviously then there may be a discussion that'll be had with them in case they have any questions about the lease from here.
Do we need to go ahead with a motion in a second, or, okay? A motion, second, any further discussion? Not all in favor? 3-0. Thank you. Next is RFQ, Mr. Michael Carter, County Manager.
Pages 35 through 39 of your packet, I put together a request for qualifications early part of last week. The 2 projects that are being discussed is the design and contract administration for the demolition of an existing addition and the reconstruction of a new entranceway and office front for 90 South Main. And the second project is to conduct a facility study of the existing courthouse. When you begin looking at how these things are supposed to be put together and put out and evaluated, it's much more difficult than just a simple paragraph identifying such. So this RFQ is put together. I trust everyone has had time to look over, review. If there are any suggested changes, we'll certainly make those. Otherwise, I would ask for the board to approve this and allow for them to be properly advertised.
Motion, accept.
I have a question, Mr. Chair. Have we received notification that that money is going to be forwarded to the county for the courthouse?
No, sir. There's been no such notification. I have information identifying the award. I have also been provided the additional email about another $200,000 that was coming to the county, and that actually came from Mr. Bamberg. I appreciate that forwarded email. But there has been no official notification to my knowledge.
Going to request that they need the money to go away, and we've committed the money for the study of the courthouse. How are you going to separate it? Look at 90 South Main first, and before you turn them loose on the courthouse to ensure that the money's going to be there?
There's no, these projects would be done together. Whatever cost is involved in them assessing either facility is on them. That's what this identifies. Where the cost comes in is when we get to the point of deciding who we're going to speak with and how we're going to do that. The assessment is basically on the firms that submit. I don't want to
So we're just trying to figure out who's going to do it right now.
We're going to solicit for qualified engineers and architects to provide us their qualifications. And then during that process, that enables us to get more defined answers on that particular portion of it while we're receiving those qualifications.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So do I hear a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Vote. Okay, moving on down. Rita Miller, Tax Administrator.
Have two requests for release of solid waste fee. The first one is a residential fee at 5741 Glade Valley Road. I did go with Theresa out, met with Miss Smith, and looked at the house, and it's not being lived in. They're just waiting to tear it down on that first request.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Motion, your second. Discussion. Go.
Second one is a request for release of solid waste fee at Saddle Ridge Campground. This said that they use this adjoining lot for additional parking. It was vacant the last time my appraiser was there, and it was vacant the last time we had any aerials flown as well.
Okay. Motion.
So moved to approve.
Second. Discussion. Go.
And on the last one, since printing up the agenda packet, I have received the documentation that the gentleman needed for his application for disability to be approved. I have received it.
You have
I
received
have. I
it.
received
Do you
it on
have
the
a
14th.
recommendation?
I would recommend, based on previous action from the board, that we approve this request.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Raise your hand. 3-0. On down, consent agenda. Rita.
Yeah, glad to answer any questions you might have about it.
Questions, Mr. Chair.
Motion.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? 3-0 again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Spotlight, Mr. Manager, County Manager comments.
One thing to look at before Heather actually pointed out, item 5 under general business, appointing of a budget committee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that we did that.
Buy me some of that. It's been the chair and the vice chair. I assume that'll continue on.
Mr. Chair, I believe that it would be better served if the Budget Committee members be made up of members that are not seeking reelection to avoid any conflict of interest or thereof.
So with that being said, we'll need 2 new ones.
Board's appointment.
Does that be done today since we're short two board?
Technically, no, because there's not going to be anything happening over the time between today and the first meeting in January.
Motion to table until the first meeting in January then.
Motion here, a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 3-0. Table till the first meeting in January.
Now I can talk a couple.
Right ahead.
Okay. Couple comments today. First and foremost, I just want to share with everybody else and wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. As a reminder, which I believe is somewhere, but the county offices will be closed December 23rd, 24th, and 27th, and also on the 31st. So please identify that correctly. Additionally, the transfer facility will be closing at 1 o'clock on the 24th and all day on the 25th. So that goes over well also. I think I had identified to the commissioners that I have received the notice of termination of the tax collection agreement from the town. In addition to the commissioners being aware of that, I've also had communication with the offices involved on the county side of that collection, and all is well. We will continue to provide a high level of service to all our county residents while maintaining a professional demeanor and as we move forward. So I think that's very important in conducting business, is to have that professionalism. So we will certainly continue that. Today, we had, and I didn't count, but we had representation from nearly all of our departments today. I want to say that I'm very appreciative of them taking their time and talking about, that what their departments have done over the last year. I think that's important because people get an idea of what's going on and not just making an assumption. I will back up also and talk about the audit. We had a very successful audit. Not there yet, but we wouldn't be in the place we are without the buy-in from the commissioners, from our, I would call our administration, and then our departments have bought into this as well. And that's the true success, is what we've done from a team approach. So I'm very appreciative of everyone that has took that and ran with it and is getting us to where we need to be. Overall, I can't say enough about our staff. 21 has been, everybody thought 20 was a rough year, and it was. 21 has been a challenging year. I wouldn't call it as bad as 20, but it's been a challenging year. And overall, I'm looking forward to a good 22. So I would like to just say that and appreciate all those that have made 21 what it is at this point.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner comments. Mr. John.
I'd like to compliment Miss Lisa Osborne on her presentation of the Chamber of Commerce. Although I am confused, February the 15th and August the 2nd, we were told we would have metrics for this new organization. Now we find that their new organization doesn't exist. So the question that comes to my mind is, who's doing what? If we're doing tourism, then we've got to advertise to bring things in, and wow, I don't know. Very good job. It confused me, and the question will come up. County provides $47,500 of funds for the chamber, if memory serves me correct. That was reduced $2,500. But it calls into question whenever I look at the budget that was presented at the TDA, where 72.8% is for salaries. Hillary Clinton's Haitian Relief Fund did better than that, but we will look at that. So far, whenever I come to the end of the year, I like to go back and review and see the things that we overlooked. The metrics is what I had for the Chamber of Economic and Tourism Development, but now that's broken into two. So I don't know if we need to get metrics, as we were told that we would be provided metrics. So I guess I can take that one off my list. One thing that I do show is that on October the 4th, we were told that we would have the financials for the agricultural fair. To date, we haven't had that. According to Cole, the Fairground Steering Committee that was formed on August the 18th has been meeting, but we haven't had a briefing on where they are or anything that has come up. Hopefully in 2022 we can get a handle on that. I've asked for a list of committees and members that are on the committees that the county commissioners appoint, and the expiration dates. If we have a partial list, it's going to be an ongoing project, because for some reason in the past no one kept track of that. I look at the package that was provided us in regards to the grants, and you look through, all of a sudden, Brock, Blue Ridge Opportunity Commission, we've got a whole page of committees that are on there. I don't know if we assign them or not. That's a question that's going to come up. It is amazing the number of committees that we have, but of course, a lot of these are stipulated by the federal government. Positive that we have heard today from the audit is the financial situation for this county. And that is a direct reflection on the leadership and the professionalism of our county manager. He, working with his staff, has taken us off of the financial watch list for the state of North Carolina to the point where we are above the minimum requirement, and frankly, it is a miracle considering we went from, I believe, 11.2% to, what is it we have right now?
11.7, I believe, to
11.7.
28.1.
To where?
28.1 is what I believe.
28.1, the recommendation is 20%, but our surrounding counties are above 30. Now, this has been something that is an ongoing. I make a joke that he watches his budget very closely, and I've looked over this year whenever people have come up, members of this board, and said, well, let's spend the money on this and spend the money on that. My first reaction was to watch his face. He guards it very closely, and the result is a very good one. In 2022, hopefully we will get around with COVID. We will improve with the county. And I'm looking forward to the introduction and the installation of the new telephone system. I think it's going to be a revelation to the county workers, what the capabilities are going to open up to them and how they can utilize it in the county government. So we continue marching forward, maybe not as fast as we would like, but it's going to be an interesting year, a lot of challenges. It is an election year. We do not know who the slate, what the slate will be, because the courts are continuing to have their say on this. Hopefully we'll get it settled down. We do know there's going to be a primary in the Republican Party. I encourage those that are interested, you think it's easy sitting up here making the decisions and looking at things, so come on in, get your feet wet. You'll find out real quick that whenever it comes to money, we can only dabble with about 10% of our budget, if that. The rest of it is mandated. So I'm guilty. I let my bulldog mouth overload my puppy dog Fanny whenever I was running. I learned. I'm giving you the opportunity to learn also. File, get your feet wet. Nothing else. You will find out about all your ancestors. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Michelle?
I don't really have anything else to say that hadn't already been said, but very proud of the county. Thank you so much for your leadership and bringing us into 22 in a great position. And I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless everybody.
Thank you. I ain't got much new to add either. I just want to comment on the department heads that came in today and give their yearly update. I don't think anybody can say our folks ain't busy. They're all working hard to help Allegheny County, and that's a great thing. And they all come together. They may not, when something happens outside their office, everybody's always ready to jump in and do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's leadership, and that's good people. You just don't find that everywhere, and we certainly appreciate that. And I just want to wish each county and every county employee we got a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a safe holiday. And our audit report was just outstanding. That's all you can say. We've come a long ways in a very short time, and like John and Michelle, you can give credit to Mr. Carter. He's led us along the way with big steps. And we got a little ways to go, and we're going to get that covered too. And Commissioner Bobby and Commissioner Mark is not here today, but just speaking on their behalf, they want to wish everybody in the county government and everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and safe holidays. If you aren't already, make church a part of your weekend. You'll come away feeling better. And that's all I have to say. Heather, you got anything to want to add?
I would just say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody.
Oh, Drew? If not, entertain a
To
motion.
adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Thank y'all.